Lucas Robinson, CEO of CannGoods, joins me now. Lucas, welcome.
Glad to be here.
Lucas, let's start with a quick summary of what is the business of CannGoods.
So CannGoods, we are focused on bringing health and well-being, improving that, and bringing that into this market as a personal focus of ours. And we're doing that by bringing certified products into the market.
We're talking CBD?
CBD focused.
Okay. Right. So you are a cultivator, extractor, a formulator?
None of the above. So we come into this market with some outside industry expertise around e-commerce, pharma, med tech. We looked at this market and said, how do we leverage our skills to, again, be part of this health and well-being opportunity? And what we found is that the cannabis supply chain, specifically the CBD supply chain, was a bit of immature, and so we really wanted to focus on working with CPG brands. And to do that, we found that we needed to be able to help them bring products to market in a way that was de-risking and also could focus on their ROI. So to answer your question, we are a consulting company that leverages software solutions and focus on bringing products to market.
Okay, so you're essentially a distributor?
No, so it's a bit of again, consulting, leveraging software solutions with also a focus on using that data to find value, and and then there's opportunities to make investments into the values.
So who are your channel partners?
Channel partners for us right now, we have supplier channel partners, so we have what we refer to as our CannGoods certified partners, and those are channel partners. So we have best of class, we like to think of them. That's across extraction, cultivation, co-packing, and packaging. We also have channel partners inside of pharma and med tech that are giving us advising there, looking at, again, as you bring data across your supply chain, that data gives you insights into value creation. And so by having med tech and pharma partners, you can start planning ahead on what it is to leverage that data into pharma filings, for product filings, to accelerate go-to-market. It's one thing to accelerate a go-to-market for a product that's going onto a retailer shelf, which is what we're doing a lot of now. But looking ahead, what is it to accelerate product to market that's going into a medical trial, and by leveraging information that you have coming through your supply chain. And that is a game that the medtech and pharma folks have been doing for quite a few years, and so we're leveraging those channel partners as well.
You spoke at Davos recently. What was the essence of your presentation there?
So yeah, wonderful group of folks there at Davos, there at the ICANN Cannabis conference. We spoke about maximizing the ROI of your cannabis supply chain.
Okay, and is that a topic that somehow is of interest to the Davos general theme of global economic sort of, what is it, integration, growth, optimization?
Yeah, well, our company core value is around focusing on the acceleration of global health and well-being and bringing products to market to do that. And the general theme of Davos this year, at least, was around, it had a number of different focal points, but global health and well-being was one of them. So I feel like it's a theme that not only plays well this year, and certainly there's a decent amount of coverage on it, but certainly something I expect and want to continue to be a part of that Davos scene, because I believe there's an opportunity for at the World Economic Forum for cannabis to be on the main stage in the context of global health and well-being.
And what is the general sort of attitude towards cannabis at that sort of level, at the Global Economic Forum level? I mean, are they interested just in cannabis as a medicinal thing, or is it viewed in any way, shape, or form as beneficial culturally, or is that outside of the purview of Davos?
Well, it's interesting. I've been a part of a number of conversations there, and you have the executive suite of Fortune 500 companies, and you bring up that you're in cannabis, and all the attention at the table goes to that conversation. And there's serious interest there. There's still a stigma, obviously, in some parts of the world. I think at that level of business, there's of course, they're looking at the business opportunity. But the majority of these conversations do tend to focus around what it is to promote global health and well-being, and using this industry to do that. So I feel like the optics around the industry, as they begin to get centered on that, will have more and more opportunity to bring in Fortune 500 businesses and executives and make it a focal point without the risk to their reputation and their brand.
And so do you have client relationships with any Fortune 500 companies or any LPs that we would recognize right now?
We do have right now a number of conversations with Fortune 500, specifically CPG brands. Not to disclose the clients that we're working with. On the LP front, again, we're friendly with a lot of companies. Right now, our big focus, if you consider what it is to bring a product to market, you can work with there's a number of cannabis companies that are great companies that have made great progress in the last couple of years. But if you really want to bring products to market in an accelerated fashion, you find the CPG suppliers that have been supplying major CPG brands for decades and sometimes 100 plus years. Bring those companies into the cannabis supply chain, which is where we found our biggest value. Because in partnering with those companies, you can bring their IP in and their know-how and their expertise and their relationships that they've been developing for decades. And that's probably, if I was to talk about relationships and partners, the most valuable of those are the CPG suppliers that we're continuing to network with.
Okay. Well, it sounds like an interesting time in the cannabis space, Lucas. We're going to leave it there for now and come back to you soon. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks, James.